Hello everyone. We recently picked up a new to us 2015 Toyota Tundra Crew Max. We have right now we are a family of 5, 3 kids, trailer now. So obviously we needed a truck. We still use this truck all the time for running errands and groceries. And so we wanted to get something in here. First we were going to do a bed liner. Ended up deciding against a bed liner. That would have been like $500 or so. So what I did is I picked up a factory Toyota OEM mat for about $100 on eBay. This thing's great. Keeps everything from sliding around. So if we load it up with groceries or what have you, stuff's not moving around. So then we needed a tonneau cover. And after taking a look at everything, I didn't really want to be taking it in and out. I know a lot of the trifolds, if you want to use the full bed, you can take them out pretty easily. But, you know, a trifold cover was going to be sitting back here or so. So what we decided on was the back Revolver X2 rolling cover. A couple reasons we went this way. One of them is my wife is not scared of driving a truck. She in fact loves it, and so a couple days a week it's almost her daily driver, and so she could be doing the errands as well. And we wanted a tonneau cover. For some reason she had to open it up. It'd be easy for her, and this one fit the bill. So I'm gonna get this thing open, start installing it, and we'll see how it works. Okay, so my truck does not have the factory rail system, so I made sure to order the one without that. With no bed liner, they include 2 different weather seals up front. I used the thicker one and just cleaned it down to get any wax and dirt and everything off so it stuck well. If you have a bed liner, they include the skinnier weather sealer. The rails are really easy to identify because that bracket is what's going to hold it in, and so that's obviously upside down. So you just hold it right side up and you'll find out which side your rail is. And one thing that's nice on here, just kind of taking a look, it's going to be hard to show on here, but there's rubber weather stripping down here. One of the things that also led to us purchasing this one was it appeared to be pretty weather tight, except for maybe at the tailgate, but overall pretty good. So if we're taking a long trip, we've got it closed, and maybe we've got some supplies or cargo back here. For the most part, it's all going to stay dry. When I was putting the rail on and they said to put it as far forward, I didn't know if they were talking about putting this top part over the weather seal, but then when I saw this bracket with a little pad that they say you remove if you have a drop-in bed liner, I knew, yep, push it all the way forward. Then we got our brackets in here, approximately halfway down on that one, and that one as close to the back as we can, so just moving along. Okay, now that the rails are on and tightened down to 10 foot-pounds for each bolt, you rolled this out and there's a bunch of package material and everything to get out. And so then what I need to do is I need to go into the install kit, and there's going to be bolts that go right in here, and then nuts go here and here, which is different than some of the install videos on some models I've seen on YouTube, is the clip for when it's held back. And back over here, yeah, you just got one more clamp at the end to do. So that'll go on at the end so they can clip together. Probably not going to film too much from here because I'm going to be, I think, maybe laying under this in the dark. So, but that's not too complicated. Okay, we are laying inside the truck and it's not laying flat up top. If you had a second set of hands, that would help. But I think what I'm going to do is just tighten this one, which should pull it down. And that one now is sticking down further so I can get it. But I'm not over tightening because I still need to be able to slide back and forth. So once I get some pull on this one, I'll probably loosen this one a little. Okay, the next step talks about alignment. We're not worried so much about the rubbers. We are just lining the rail to the edge. So it looks like they're using that little bracket. So I'm going, let's see here. So I'm going off of this, and this is the metal rail. And you know, for right now that looks pretty good, so I'll go do the same thing on the other side. I think the final fitment, you know, as you kind of, when I first unrolled it, it was binding a little here, so then I just had to kick it because it wasn't square. You know, I'm just taking my time. I got coffee that I'm drinking in between clips here. So I've been outside for probably 30 minutes and I'm almost done. If you had 2 people and pre-read the instructions, this would be in no time. Okay, so at this point I actually have the whole cover installed. My dad dropped by dropped off the kids. They spent the night with Grandma and Grandpa, and so I had him help me just finish up, and we were visiting, so I didn't bother with the camera. Really just having that second person around helped at the very end as we did the just final aligning. But I mean, this really wasn't that hard. The key to this success is getting your bed rails installed well, getting them pushed down, secured. I did use a torque wrench, so when I put the bolts down, the 3 on each side, I did 10 foot-pounds like the instructions said. Other than that, once you get those in, as you saw when I put the bolts down here, it was pretty straightforward. There are these little rubber stops, and I gauged those based on if this were to somehow roll forward and hit the window. I was debating this channel, but I figured by the time this rolled forward, it's going to hit the cab. So these would be most likely to hit the window. I don't think that's going to happen. So, and there's already a lot of videos of this online, but I mean, it truly is pretty easy. I saw some different versions. There are a couple different versions out there. This one had these clamps installed on the cover itself. Saw one video where you actually had to put the clamp on a cable under the 2 bolts coming through. So it was nice to see this one came with that. But otherwise, one-handed, 1, 2. I caught both sides, close the tailgate, and away you go. I'll be curious to see if this moves at all. Any fluttering on the road. I don't think it's going to, because it's pretty strong. It's gonna be about 85 today, so by the time a couple days come and go, the little bits of gaps here, they said you could use a hair dryer, but the sun's gonna take care of those. And you can see a little bit, some rows, I don't know if the phone will pick it up, but where it was from being rolled up, I can see a little bit of lines, but I think the longer this stays open, you're not gonna see those lines long term. But overall, everything looks like it installed well. I could maybe tighten this side down a little bit more, but again, I want everything to just set up and go for a while. So one of the things that kind of led us to this cover, oh, let's see. Look at that, I didn't click it all the way. Uh-oh, I did something wrong. Okay, we're in. What happened was, I did just be between adjusting everything, it had popped out of the rail on this side a little bit, so I just had to kick it back over. So overall though, this is going to be pretty watertight, except I hear by the tailgate and, you know, right down in there, water could work its way in. I can get my finger in, but not by much. Overall, this should be really good. It really came down to this and the X-Tang Solid Fold 2.0 for us. And the reason we were looking for solid was not all the time, but there's going to be times this could be left outside, and if it were to be a snowstorm, snow and ice can get heavy pretty quickly. This is rated for 500 pounds. I just didn't want to worry about something getting saggy over time and dropping. You know, they may not have, but they kind of led us to the solid fold route. And so then, or to, I guess, you know, even though this has a vinyl cover, it's still a hard fold cover. And the X-Tang Solid Fold 2.0, the main thing that kept me from wanting to buy it, even though it's supposed to be fixed, is on the 1.0, on the solid folds, your lines are on the top, and so at your points, the 1.0 would leak through there. And it's my intention to keep this cover for a long time. And so I was kind of afraid a little bit over time with the 2.0, those creases are potential leak points, and I just didn't want to risk it. So I liked the idea of getting something that had a solid look, so that you were really just focusing on your leak points being a square. We already have to worry about potential leaks all the way around, and so I didn't want to do that. But with this one, what I really liked is because you install this rail over the bed, and right here, this is the rubber that comes on the rails. It looks really good. So that's why I don't think people have too many problems with this. And then you've got the foam, the weather stripping I installed up here. So that's going to be pretty solid. So there's really not a reason for this to leak much at all. And so that was a big decision on there. And then just the look of it, since it sits pretty much flush with the truck, we liked that look. And then just overall the ease of use. Coming in here. Now it's open. And what I was saying real quick, the reason it was popped up is the rail on the other side, this little tooth on the other side was too far over, so it wasn't sitting in. And it's hard to see on here, but there's the bite. So as that comes forward, that's what's holding these individual teeth and keeps it from moving. So overall, I think this will work out really well. Kind of excited to see what the long-term results are of it. Let me see, are we not focused? There we go. Anyway, a little bit of rambling. I think I'm going to cut the video here. Hopefully that's helpful for anybody who's looking to put this on a Tundra Crew Max. We're really happy with it. Now we just got to use it and see how it holds up. Thanks for watching. So we are on the freeway going 65 right now, or highway I should say. I don't know if you can see that back there, but the tonneau cover is flapping ever so slightly. Not too bad. I was just curious, so I thought I'd go for a quick drive. And this is us home from the first day using it, a trip to Costco and the grocery store. Picked up these little totes that fold up, so I'm going to leave those in the truck all the time. Just, you know, came home, rolled it up. I didn't drive with it today with the it rolled up, but if you see in the back right here, your headrests are right about here, the tip of those in the back, and so this is below the headrest line. So if you're considering buying it, you want to know how much to block the window, just compare it to your back headrests. The headrests are higher than it. So been really happy. It was nice to have it today. It was nice to have it covered out of the wind, out of prying eyes. Locked the tailgate and our stuff was good. And with this rubber mat back here, nothing slid around. All right, well, thanks for watching, and if you guys have any questions, just post in the comments below.